as you grew up in the church, you know, Guyana is a land, Guyana has many religions, many races, many different religions.
Yes.
And one of the good things about our constitution is allow freedom of expression of religion. That's a good thing.
Well, you have to thank LFS Barnum for that.
Yes.
Yes, you see, a lot of people are experiencing freedom of religion and religious practices in Guyana. But it is LFS Barnum who removed those archaic laws that allowed all the nationalities in Guyana to be able to practice their religion or the way of life according to how they see fit. And so today the Hindu, the Muslims, all the various Christian.
Here's a question I have for you, though. And that is true and it's commendable. Here's a question I have for you. There's a strong Anglo-Saxon, strong Anglican Catholic presence, Presbyterian, the different Christian religion, very strong in the schools and so on. How did you maintain your particular religion, your culture? How did that, you know?
Beautiful thing, beautiful question. My grandmother was a Catholic. As a matter of fact, the Catholic Church gave her a big send-off when she passed. But she was also never moved away from the tradition. You see, and back then, the old folks look at the comfort tradition as a way of life. Not just a religious perspective.
Let's get it again. A way
of life. They didn't eat certain foods. They did not imbibe in alcohol. They had a very strict moral conduct. And this moral conduct can be found in the Kwekwe tradition, because the Kwekwe culture, all of it comes out of the comfort tradition, because our ancestors always respected marriage. And so you will find that after almost 400 years of enslavement in the Kwekwe tradition, when a marriage was negotiated, it was negotiated on two basic principles. Is the young lady a virtuous woman or not? And so if she was a virtuous woman, the lobola, which is the money that was paid, the bride price, would be much more than if she was not. Because the divine essence in the woman who was a virtuous woman, in the sense of never being touched by a man in that particular way, gave a lot of honor to both families, but also it gave honor to the ancestors in the heavenly realms. Not only that, when a woman marries as one who is not being touched, her sexual experience continued to remain pure unless she get a divorce and go and deals with somebody else. She doesn't know anything else. All she knows is that experience that she has had with the first man in her life. And that is one of the reasons why, from a cultural perspective, many times you see men and women who, even though they've become married afterwards, find themselves going back to deal with the first man in their life. Because there is a spiritual connection that takes place in that divine act that will never take place again. And so they become connected not only in a physical way, but in a divine way. So our culture, man, our culture is so powerful. It is so... Let me tell you something. Many of our people in Guyana don't even have an inkling of how powerful our traditions are. And the church did a great job on miseducating African people.
Why was that? Why was that so? I know this in a lot of circles they say this is a stupid question, but I want to put it to you. Why was it so important to distance us or distance Africans from their heritage, from their religion, from their spirituality? Why is this emphasis on if you practice your traditional religion or way of worship,
Yeah.
it is evil, it is bad. Yet, in some ways, their ceremonies resemble the traditional ceremony but in a different way.
Those who have studied religion will tell you that Catholicism comes out of Kemet, Egypt. Okay? The person who's responsible for using Christianity to create an empire and control most of the people on this planet Earth was an emperor. His name is Constantine. And he did that 325 AD. You go and look at the Council of Nicaea and see what was done. And in that council, they removed the woman and replaced her with a ghost. Because in ancient African tradition, the Trinity is man, woman, and child. You cannot have a man and a child if you don't have no woman. They removed the woman from the state of divinity.
Why did the mankind want to do that?
In our tradition,
You notice I said mankind.
yes, it's about control. It's about economic control, physical control, religious control. I would not say spiritual control because nobody can control your spirit. They can control your mental state of consciousness in terms of how you think. And so and that's the reason why they have done so much to the people in Haiti. Because the whole thing is to break that consciousness, that connection that the people still have to the divine realm.
Like the Dogons.
Exactly. You know, and so in our tradition, the first person who was created was a woman, and she never stopped creating. All life comes through all human life comes through the woman. The drums are a representation of the family. The two islands in the Caribbean that has kept most of our drumming knowledge is Cuba and Trinidad and Tobago.
Trinidad.
Yeah, Trinidad and Tobago. Especially the people in Tobago.
Strong, very
Yes.
strong black culture.
You know, but we have, Guyana is rooted with the drums. Like I said to you before, Guyana is the land of many waters and the power of the drums.
Let's talk about these drums. There are all kinds of drums.
All kinds of drums. All kinds of drums. Now, the drums are your means of communication between earth and the divine space.
The rhythms,
Yes.
the vibrations,
The vibrations.
the tones.
The tones. That is your telephone. And that's the reason why in all ceremonies, you go and look up the Chinese. They have the drums. You can look up the Japanese. As a matter of fact, in Japan, their tradition is based around the drums.
Exactly.
And that tradition is called Shinto. Now, change the I and put an A,
Shanto.
and you get Shanto.